Alright, welcome back everyone to part 5 of the turn-based combat series. We're making slower progress than I would have liked, but such is life, I guess, when you're trying to develop with me. But yeah, so all I've done between parts is go ahead and rename all of these names and stuff. But really quickly, we're just gonna dive right back into everything, just so we can get through this a bit quicker and get to the fun stuff like animations, Cinemachine, and particles, and all of that. So, first off, what we need to do, something we forgot to do, was go ahead and menu.options.add, I guess. So what we need to do is we need to make this a list so we can add to it. And just to make sure, we need to make sure that is a new list of menu options, just so that we don't get an error with that, and make sure we change our length to count, and we should be good there. But now that allows us to go in here and do .add. And what we need to do, we need to add the menu option, or the option that we just created. Okay. I guess that would also mean that we'd want to clear, yeah, we want to clear our options beforehand, just in case. And then the other thing I wanted to do was move all of this into its own method. So something like private void generate move list UI, and that'll obviously need to take in a bunch of things. But so what part of it do we want? So I guess we should make a couple. We make one for clear battle menu UI, and then we can replace this stuff with that. Yeah, we can like move this to here. I think we'll just keep it simple and just move this stuff to here. We can do generate move list UI, and we can pass in our player. Of course, this will take a combatant player, and that should handle all of that. And in fact, we should have this return the list of menu options. Right? No, we don't need it. We don't need it. Right. So, what we will be doing is we need to have some sort of way to know when the buttons are pressed. So right now, if we go through here and hit play and hope nothing has broken in between parts, we go ahead and test combat. We can't actually go through and select anything. So I believe all that means is we need to go and change our first selected to, I forget how world canvases differ, but I'm pretty sure, yeah. So yeah, we need to make sure that it has the event camera and that our event system is setting the first selected. So a couple of things. So in here we can do battle menu.get component canvas. Oops, I accidentally hit caps there. Dot event camera. Yeah, world camera is equal to, I guess we'll just do camera.main. Not the best practice, but it'll work for what we need. And then the other thing we need to do is go ahead and grab a reference to our event system, which I believe is in using engine event systems. And system. Okay, and that'll also be in here. Event system. And then once we're in here, we can go ahead and do event system dot first selected game object to our battle menu dot options. That's one way of doing it. That should work. So now if we go ahead and test our combat, yeah, okay, yeah. So it was working. I was just not in the game menu, so I couldn't tell. But yeah, there we go. And of course it's disappearing before we input anything, but we'll fix that. Okay. So let's go ahead and start the hard part of this. So let's go ahead and move all of this above this. Okay. So each option has, if we go back and look at our menu option, each object has an onSelected, on unselected, and this onPressed. And we'll be subscribing to this onPress so we can get when we press a move to select that one. Okay, so what we're gonna do option dot onPressed plus equals a delegate. Right, we can do that. Oh yeah, we have to do it this way. We have to do dot add listener. Yeah. So now in this delegate we can do whatever we want to do. And we will basically be copying what we've done in here. So we'll have a list of targets and yeah, well actually we could probably just take this, put it in here, right? Well, we'll take a look at it in a moment. But we can create a list of targets that we need to attack. And if the move is area of effect, then we want to add all the enemies. Remember, because this is for the players now. So if it's area of effect, we can add all of those targets. If the move is attack, instead of choosing a random one, we're gonna have so yeah, rather than this, we can just have our logic for selecting a target. So we can have, yeah, we'll have like a way to select targets here. So yeah, then what we need to do is basically notify our player phase that we've so if we've done area of effect, we're basically done. We can just play our move that way. But otherwise we need to let it know that we want to select a move. So really quick and easy way to do that is create this private boolean up here, selecting target, or yeah, selecting targets, make sure that's false. And then once we're done with this area of effect thing, we can just say selecting targets is equal to true. I guess I should make this more obvious as to what it is. It's finished selecting targets. Yeah, finished selecting targets. Else, um, wait, hold on. I am being a massive idiot right now. Uh, okay. So what we need is we need to basically create a selection phase where we're choosing each of our or choosing our target. And then the way we do that is similar to this, but we need to wait for that to finish before. Um, no, wait, this is right. Yeah, this is right. This is totally fine. So we're going to create a private IEnumerator here. This is going to be choose target. And what we're going to do in here is we're basically going to do the same thing here. We're going to create yeah, we're just going to create like a way to move between targets. And I'm not sure exactly which way I want to implement that right now. We could have it so that it just it changes the camera to focus on the one you want to target, and you can move it with left or right. And I think that might be the way we go. So we'll just do while finish selecting targets. We just loop through. Yeah, we'll have like an int current index 0, and combatant current target equals null. Yeah. So while that's true, our current target equals enemies 0. I guess I should put like a yield return null in here so it stops complaining at me. Okay. So our current target will be, and we'll put that out there actually. Well, let's simplify this a little bit. There we go. So our current target will be the enemies of 0, and then if input dot get button down, I'll just use submit. So if we hit enter on it, then we can do targets.add. Yeah. What is target? Yeah, I think targets might need to be. Okay. So what we're gonna do, pivot a little bit here. Around here we're gonna create private list of combatants, and this will be targets. And every player phase and every enemy phase, we're just gonna clear that. So we'll just do targets clear, as well as in here, targets clear. And that way we can just do, here we'll do start coroutine, choose target. Okay. And then once we've done that, we can do targets.add current target, and then a yield break. We also need to, of course, set finish selecting targets to true. And then of course we need our if input dot get axis. I guess we'll just create a float horizontal equals input dot get axis raw horizontal. If input or if horizontal is greater than 0.1, then we increment to the left. Otherwise we do it to the right. I think so. No, the other way around. The other way around. Else here we go. Else if that. And then we can change our current target to well, first we do current index plus plus. Wait, that way we don't have to do this twice. We can do current index plus plus, current index minus minus. And if current index is greater than 0, or less than 0, then current index equals enemies.count minus 1. Else if current index equals enemies.count, then current index equals 0. This is basically just wrapping it around. And then we can just set current target equal to enemies of current index. There we go. And that should pretty much work. Now the only thing is we then need to change this from yield return new wait for seconds until new wait until. Give it a delegate, and that'll be return finish selecting targets. Okay. Now there's no visual indication of this happening yet. We'll add that in. But if we go ahead and yeah. And then what we can do here, actually we should finish this up, is yield return start coroutine play or play move, and that takes in our player. We need our current move as well, huh? We'll get that in a moment. We can also pass in the targets. So the way we could get the move that we want is in here. So the first thing we do, of course, is just set this as the selected option. So private combat move, chosen move equal, and then we just do chosen move equal option dot, yeah, it'd be player dot moves or dot stats dot moves dot select. We need link for that. Yeah, using system.link. Yeah, what we need is dot select the select x where x dot name is equal to move dot name. Will that even work? Yeah. It's not select, it was single. That was the problem. But basically we're checking if yeah, if the name is equal to the name we set in here. I don't even know if that'll work actually, now that I think about it. But we'll find out, I guess. Okay. Alright, we're gonna go test this out. I doubt it'll work. Just putting that out there right now, but we can write all of this stuff and then test whether or not it works. There we go. Yeah, that's where I figured it would break. So targets dot. That's actually not where I figured it would break at all. Of course, it is because I always forget to initialize my lists. Okay. That's that aside. Try that again. Right, back in here. So if we try and select this and select an enemy. What is submit, by the way? I should really make sure I know what that is. Project settings, input, axes, submit, return, enter. Yeah, okay. That is what I thought it was. In that case, let's create two methods really quickly. And those will be set battle menu visible. Active in hierarchy, or dot set active. Okay. And then we can do set battle menu visible to false. And in here, just do set menu visible to true. And in here we do set battle menu visible to false. Okay, we're basically just giving ourselves some more idea of where exactly things are happening, because there's nothing being printed in the console right now. Okay, click back in here. Index was out of range. Okay, where is this happening? 35. Is it because of... Oh, that's probably why, huh? Yeah, because we're disabling it before the options can be added. So where did I just do that? So we set it visible there, and then in here it should be fine. Should be enabled there. Well, how about we don't do that for now, just to see where this thing is breaking. Yeah, let's try that for now. I apologize for like live debugging and stuff. Um, Honestly, these should go better than yeah, okay. So it was just setting it false. That was an issue. Um, okay. So it looks like. Wait, I never made a way to actually. That's why. I never made a way to actually select the move, like a public void choose move. And this will happen. So yeah. If input dot get button down, submit, then choose move with our current index. So then we can just do options of current index dot pressed. Okay, and that'll work. So that's why nothing was happening before, was because whoa, okay. That's not good. Argument was out of range. Yes, 207. Oh wait, I know why. I know why. I know why. So yeah. So let's give this 1 second of waiting time for now. Light heal on enemy. That's not supposed to happen either. But yeah, I think what happened there was it just immediately went through because the button was still held down. Did it say finish selecting? It did. So yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happened. Which is why I'm gonna wait for a second here. This will eventually be replaced by like waiting for camera pans and stuff. So that's why it's fine to do this. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend like just waiting for an arbitrary amount of time. Okay. And then the other thing was, wait, hold on. Let's do a debug.log text. Pretty sure that's also an issue. Anyways, yeah, okay, so that's working the way we want, basically. And then the other thing we need to do is once we've sort of finished that, we need to go ahead and set those back to false and chosen move to null. We can. Okay, yeah. That'll prevent the like flashing thing that we saw at the very least. The other thing, yeah. So 209. So let's go check. Okay, so it did find what we wanted, which is great. I didn't expect that to work. The other thing is we need to figure out where this issue is coming from. Okay, so that played it on all of them, but we're still getting this index out of range exception at CS211. Player phase, move next, 124. I was trying to like look through and see exactly where issues might be falling through. I believe it might be targets. I don't know. We'll see. If we go to debug mode, We can see. Can't we see? We can't. These don't matter. So the chosen move has no name. Okay, so we chose backslash and we chose an enemy. So it looks like the issue is when we play an area of effect attack. Yeah, it looks like the issue is when we play an area of effect attack. So for that, let's figure out what's going on here. That should be fine. I believe, yeah, that should be fine. Oh well. Let's see. I want to test that again, make sure it is the... It is what I think it is, rather. Yeah, so that's working fine. But area of effect is not. So there's something different between those two. So if we take a look at choose target, our current target becomes this. So yeah, all that's happening is that targets.add current target. Targets is being cleared beforehand up here. Let's go down to here and mark this as serializable, just so we can check in the inspector. Yeah, there it is. So our targets right now is 0. We can go ahead and test combat. So right now our targets is still 0. It's 1, but it immediately clears, so there's no point. Yeah, it immediately clears, so I guess I should do it on the last. Or I guess I could just give myself some more time to look at it. As another option as well. Do build return, wait for seconds, and eventually we will want time in here as well for camera pans and stuff again. But once we figure this out, though, we'll basically be done with player phase, and we can move on to filling out the other, the playing part of this, playing a move. The targets was 0 there. Players completely empty. No, it's there. Okay, so the targets was being added there, but for some reason it wasn't in here. Okay, so that's a hint. So wait, is it? That's why. Get rid of that. Okay. I knew I'd forget that, but anyways. Okay. And then yeah, okay. Anything else we need to do before we move on? Right, choosing target will need to be updated once like putting targets on the enemies and stuff so we can see which one we're choosing. And then we can also figure this bug out before this episode ends. So the bug we're running into, of course, is right, this argument out of range. Index must be non-negative and less than the size of the collection. So I believe what's happening is start isn't being called in time. At least I think so. Yeah, it's not being called. So our best option is just to like remove where is it? There. Just remove that. And then we can test combat. There we go. Things work as intended. And it should be setting that, there it is. Now we can get rid of that awkward delay. So once we select an option, finish selecting, then that'll go away. Right? Did I add a delay somewhere else? No, it's, oh yeah, I did, right there. That's why the menu wasn't disabling right away. There we go. Yeah, so in the next part, we'll start filling out our actual play move coroutine. And then if we have time as well, we'll try and find some placeholder solution for choosing targets, because right now it's very unintuitive. I'll see if I can just put like some target sprite on the enemies that you're trying to choose, and if that works, then we'll be pretty good. Yeah, but that'll be all for this part though. We pretty much have finished with our player phase for now. We'll come back and add in like all the necessary camera stuff that we need. But yeah, that's all for this part though. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at the next part.